live on YouTube like a couple times, but so this is really exciting. This is my, I want to get back to this. So hello, those watching the replay, and my tripod is not standing properly. Okay, is it going to work? Is it going to work? There we go. All right. Okay, so welcome. If you've been following me before, welcome. Make sure that you have subscribed and you press the bell notification so you get my messages, so you get my notifications on new videos. Now, I also would love your help and would love some input on what you want videos on. I think I'm going to be doing a live video on Mondays and possibly Wednesday evenings. I am in Pacific Standard Time. Okay, I live on Vancouver. So in Vancouver, Canada, which is the same time zone as California, for those who aren't sure. Okay, so let me know what you want more information on. Today, what I'm talking about is the emotional symptoms, the moods, and all of that that goes with this midlife phase, perimenopause and menopause, and even beyond, that most people are not aware of. And these are the things that can really make you feel like you might be going a little crazy. Right. So many, I just got a new one-on-one client, and she had no idea that some of these symptoms she was experiencing, ups and downs of moods, these anxiety, this slight depression, and all of these thoughts and stuff, that they were quite natural to this hormonal imbalance that you're going through in this phase of life. She was actually really shocked. And she was like, why doesn't anybody tell us? Why doesn't anybody tell us? And I'm like, you know what? Need to do another video on this. It's so true. All we heard about and all I heard about was the hot flashes. So the things that you can experience, the emotional things, are things such as anxiety. So maybe you had anxiety before. Maybe you never did. I never did. But all of a sudden you may start to feel this anxiety, which feels very, very strange. It's like, oh my God, this constant worry, this constant fear, like something's going to happen. Why do I feel so off? Why do I feel so uptight? What's going on, right? You can also end up feeling a little bit depressed, where it's like, I just feel down, I feel flat, I feel unmotivated, I feel like, oh, what's wrong? Like I should be more excited. Where did my excitement go? Where did my spark go? That can be part of it. That is actually really brutal. And that can bring you feeling down and going, I should be in love with my life. Like my life is good. So for people who have, let's say, a good marriage, good family, good job, things are going really good, but yet they feel like something's wrong, right? They feel this kind of sadness and this down, and almost like, I don't even know how to get inspired. You may stop working out. You may stop seeing friends that often. And another thing that can happen is feeling like you want to just be alone. Like you don't want to be with anybody. You don't really want to see anybody. You may make plans, and when the time comes for those plans, you're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go out. I don't want to see those people. That's brutal. That has happened to me. Now, just before we go any further, note that this does end. This does end. These types of things are usually in the perimenopause phase when you're still having your period. So when your period could be heavy, light, gone for 3 months, back, maybe not even gone, maybe even gone for 6 months, and then it comes back. Okay, so that is the perimenopause phase. That's when you usually experience the worst symptoms. Mood swings. So if you have been pregnant, you know about the mood swings. Really good, happy one moment, something happens and you're totally pissed off, or you're crying, or you're emotional, you don't know why, you're angry, you're like, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. There's really nothing, why? And so what happens here is we begin to feel like, I'm going crazy. Like, why am I so stressed? Why am I so overwhelmed? Why am I so emotional? Why can't I seem to hold it together anymore? Yes. That is common during this phase of life. It's not pleasant, and I had a really hard time with this aspect of it. I remember one time I was so emotional and crying so much for really no reason. In the morning, I was driving to work. I couldn't go to work. I had to phone in sick, and I drove around most of the day crying. I was going to stop at a coffee shop. I was going to stop at a bookstore. Couldn't stop. I was crying too hard. And I didn't really know why. And it just felt like, oh my God, no one's going to understand this. I'm so alone. I'm going crazy. What's going on with me? What's wrong with me? And then if you go to your doctor, good to go to your doctor to get checked out physically, but really they don't learn about this phase, these hormones. They don't understand them, so they can't help you. And they probably won't tell you they don't learn about them. So then they will say, take some antidepressant, take this pill, take that pill. Or they'll run a whole bunch of tests. It'll all come out normal. They'll tell you you're way too young for menopause, that it's all in your head. You just need to, anything like that, right? And then it just makes you feel like even more helpless and more like, oh my God, something's wrong with me. But nothing is. So what's wrong, right? You know when something's wrong with you. You know when something's upset within your body and not right. Trust yourself. But don't start taking any of those things from your doctor until you have tried some natural supplements, okay? There are so many wonderful, amazing natural supplements and herbs that you can take now for this phase of life that will help you. I cannot stress it enough. Don't right away go to hormones. Do not go, oh, I need hormone replacement therapy because I'm experiencing this. No, this is a natural phase of life. It's probably, the symptoms can be worse if you're not eating right for this phase of life, if you are not reducing your stress, like keeping that, like doing certain practices and things that, yes, now you get to learn those things, even if it's 10 deep breaths 3 times a day. Okay, it's time for you to take better care of yourself. That's why you're feeling those symptoms. There is dis-ease within your body. There is imbalance, which is natural, but it can be helped. Okay, so when you go to a really good health food store, say, I think I'm in perimenopause. I'm having issues with this hormonal imbalance. These are the symptoms I'm having. Can you recommend some supplements or a supplement blend that can help me with this? There's also a website for those living in the US. It's called hormonesbalance.com. Hormonesbalance.com. And that helps, that she has her own supplement line and she's very knowledgeable. So you can go onto her store and order something from her. If you don't have a good health food store around and you really don't know, don't go to Amazon. You don't know what crap you're ordering off of Amazon unless you know the exact brand and the product you want to buy that you bought at a health food store that you already know is good. Okay, now you're going to hear lots of people say you could take ashwagandha, you could take rhodiola, you can take St. John's worts, you can take 5-HTP, you can take all of those things. But first of all, what I suggest is trying one of those formulations instead of buying 10 bottles of separate different herbs, because there are so many you can take, but it's very confusing. So that's why I say go somewhere, see if you can find. So there's hormone formulations for women going through midlife change. They may be called Astral Sense or Menopause, things like that, right? Hormone imbalance, like things like that. You will see them once you start looking for them. And they have a blend of a few things in them. That way you don't have to buy 5 bottles. And then when you take that for a while, then you can say, okay, now I'm noticing which symptoms are worse, what symptoms I still need to deal with a bit. So then I'm going to find maybe a herb that helps with that symptom, which is totally possible. Now, when women work with me in my programs and my coaching, I help you with all of that. Plus with what you eat, of course, because that makes a huge difference. And I'm going to tell you, what used to work in your 20s, 30s, and early 40s is not going to work in this phase. Much of it does, but there are some things that can actually cause insulin resistance, that can also actually cause weight gain, that actually prevents you from losing weight, that actually contributes to foggy brain, right? To keep that foggy brain, that feeling of like, oh my God, I just can't focus today, right? There's foods that help that, and there's foods that actually make it worse. And some of them are even healthy foods that we consider healthy foods. There's also foods during this phase of life that are healthy foods that actually cause the belly fat, which can lead to insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome, where mostly everything you eat just goes to fat, and you just keep gaining. And then you get sluggish, you get tired, you get unmotivated, uninspired, flat, foggy brain, can't focus, can't think right, and bad digestion. Okay, so it's so important to start taking care of yourself, like truly start taking better care of yourself. But know that some of these emotional symptoms that you are going through can be part of the midlife phase. They are due to hormone imbalance, but do not go to synthetic hormones at all. You can check out bioidentical hormones, but there are many things you can do before you go to the hormones, because first of all, you want to make sure that you're eating right for this phase of life and that you're reducing stress, because like if you are in a consistent high stress and if you're not eating right, you can take all the freaking hormones you want and it's not going to help your body enough. right? So it needs to be nutrition, stress reduction, and also working with certain supplements and super powders and stuff. And like I said, you can start small. Start with that. You will notice big differences pretty fast, and then you can add things as time goes on. But please reach out to somebody who knows, either myself or somebody else, who has gone through this phase, who understands the hormones, how they like relate to yourself right now during this phase, your weight, your health, your energy levels, all of that. Okay. So much love to you. I hope this helped you understand a little bit more that what you're going through is okay. It will end, but it will end faster and you will feel better faster if you really start taking care of yourself now. Reach out to me, dianamarchand.com. I have a contact page, or find me on Facebook Messenger, or also in my Facebook group, Women Creating Healthy Lives. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell notification, and leave me a comment below. So much love to you. Bye. I got to figure out how to close this now. I don't know how. Oh, there we go. You want to stop streaming. Okay.